Thank you. Hope I'm audible. So welcome everyone to the session. Let me check just 1 minute. Let me just check. Yes, I think all set. Welcome everyone to the session. This is Chaitanya here. So today's talk is on Jira Cloud Basics, in which we are going to understand basics of Jira, very specific to Jira Software, and we'll do some demos on it. So I'm a trainer and a consultant with 20 years of experience on multiple cloud and DevOps technologies, conducted multiple trainings on AWS, Google, and Dockers and Kubernetes. And I'm certified in these. So welcome everyone once more for this session, in which we're going to very briefly look into what is Atlassian products and what is a Jira. And we will learn about overview of Jira Software. What is it? How to log into it? How to sign up? What are various options in Jira? We'll start looking into different types of templates, what you can use like Classic and NextGen. How to use projects and issues. The project is about how you manage multiple issues or tasks you can manage, and how you can run in or search the issues using basic as well as using JQL advanced search. And we'll be having demos at the end. Once you're done, we'll also have an open session in which you will be unmuted and you can ask your questions. During the session, you will not be able to speak. You could post your questions in the chat and I will answer your questions in the logical endpoints. Yeah. So any questions before we start off? Are we good to start? Anything you want? Hope I'm clear. Anything before we start off, team? Okay, thank you. So what is Atlassian? So Atlassian is a company which is getting into lots of anything on DevOps you can think about. They have in tools. So they have in for software. They have in for project management. So this is your CI/CD. They have in for collaboration. They have in for identity services. And you could find all this information from their product page, which is Atlassian.com, in which you can learn about each of the product. Click on products and you see this is the homepage of Atlassian, in which you could look into the different types, what they have, and the practices, what they follow, and they're quite compliant, and it is being used by many countries across the world. So under the products, you could find in the products, this is your plan, tracking, and support, includes like Jira, all about project management and how you keep track of the project and how service management companies, they can use these. This is all about this. How to collaborate with multiple teams you want to use collaborate, and how you can use for your DevOps and CI/CDs is all about code build and ship. And how can you integrate with on-prem, and how do you manage it on a cloud? You want to use a security identity. These are different ones. And when you click on this, for example, want to know more about it, just click on it and you're going to learn more about this. So this is very brief about Jira on Atlassian product, sorry. So next is, what is Jira platform? So Jira platform is a family of products. It includes Jira Software, it includes Jira Service Management, and includes Jira Core. So I can use this tool for any of these use cases to manage my projects or the issues, what I have. So every day developers or the teams, they're going to work on different types of requirements, like creating a software or running some software. You want to have a better management, how you can plan it, create it, and review it. And this is where Jira is going to help you. So first one is Jira Software, which is more into managing softwares. Like you can manage bug issues, small tasks, and you can also manage some small issues. Second one is Jira Service Management. This is all more about very specific to if you want to order something and if you want to manage the services, I use this. And the Jira Core is more into businesses, very specific. You want to start using this. And these are normally used by software developers, project managers, and Scrum masters. This is all about how you can use CI/CD and those things you can use, the DevOps, these things. The last one is your business users. And you can find all the information. This is how your Jira output looks. Let me show you all these details now. So this is the homepage of Jira. So when you access, this is your homepage of Jira, in which you can understand about what is Jira and Jira Software, Jira Core. These are three, and these are the use cases or the users where they use. So where do these users use this? The first one, software, they use it for bug tracking, project management, product management, process, all these. This is all more the service management, and you also can use for DevOps. And this is more into business teams, they use this. And again, you can integrate with other services of Atlassian. You can integrate with this. I can have all these either on-prem or on cloud. So on-prem is something I need to manage myself. It again the different options. And you have licenses options. So Jira Software has default up to 10 users are free. And these is again license based on the number of users, the all mode of user base. I can have Jira Software hosted on a cloud or a self-managed. So cloud is something Jira would manage it. You just need to go ahead and define the front end. But if you want to manage the back end also, you could have it in your own data center. And again, you can integrate with other clouds if required. So important terms when you work with Jira include like issues. The first one is issue. For example, what is issue? Issue is something what the business managers or developers, what they want to do. That is an issue. It could be multiple tasks inside that multiple people can work on these issues. So first one is issues. How do you manage issues effectively? You want to create projects, and inside the project, I can have multiple issues, and I can see what is happening. I can try to review it, and I can do a search of it. All this thing I can manage issues by using your projects. And how do I again split up the issues? How do I know what is it? I can create workflows like first I clear open, then in progress, under review, approval, and done. So this is the things you normally look into Jira. One is issues, second is projects, and third one is workflows. And everything is agile in these. Agile means the easier method how you can work with your team members. So it has all agile practices and DevOps practices which is required. Your Jira tool is going to have it. Yes, any questions in the chat I can answer? Just logical. Are we clear about what is Jira and brief about Atlassian products? Any questions you can ask me in the chat.
Chaitanya, Subramanyam here.
Yes.
Would you be able to ping that link in the chat for the benefit of the audience?
Okay,
Yes.
it is already been checked. Sure, done.
Thank you.
The link which I'm referring. Okay, I don't see any questions in here. So this is our Jira platform. Now, what are the options? Cloud and this we talked about. And now let's get into how to use Jira once. The first one, we are going to look into something called as Jira Software. I can go back in here. So we're going to learn about Jira Software. I click on Learn More. So what is Jira Software? So this is used by software teams. So they can have a project created. So need to first get it free. When you click on Get It Free, they have an option to Next, and they would get an option to enter a domain and they can sign up. So they need to enter the domain first, and then they can sign up and they can start using this. So you need to click it, you put in your site name, like a username, and I can start using this. So I will sign up. And once you signed up, you can do lots in your Jira once. So one is you can create projects and you have lots of boards. I can create all my issues, split up my issues into epics and sprints. I can keep track of what is happening, which stage the issues are, what projects happening, all these things. I can manage release of my applications or software. I can also give access to others, my team members, quite easily. And I can create workflows and define, for example, what to be done, where are we, is it done? I can define workflows, all these things quite easily using GUI options. Apart from which, if you want to integrate with your existing tools, for example, with your Bitbucket and pipelines, you have integration options using which you can integrate quite easily. And I could have, this is what you're going to see once you created something like this, you're going to see it here. Designed for security and scale, and it is quite reliable and you can start using this. So features, you can get it free. You can work with a Scrum boards, or you can also support Kanban dashboards. So I can use either this. So Scrum and Kanban, these are agile frameworks which is being used to manage or teams to work together. For example, I can define what people are doing, I can drag it, and all these things I can do it in these type of dashboards. I can create a roadmap to sharing the plans with others, and I can create epics and sprints, and I also can get in reports. I can also get in reports using which I can keep track of where there are issues. So you have lots of reports, you have agile reports, burnout reports, sprint reports, lots of things you can do in here. So this is all the options what you can do. So in very brief, Jira Software is going to help you to save the time what you want to do. So instead of, let's consider that your team members are quite in different locations and you do not have an option to meet them because of some reasons. How do you integrate and work together? So this tool is going to help you to achieve your work quite easily. And you have options to automate many tasks. For example, you can also define some safe searches using which you can work on issues, all in drag and drop. I can drag and drop all the issues. I need not even go and type it. I can just drag and drop, which is going to make it work easy. So let's see how to start. So I already signed up. So let me click on and show you how does it look. So once you signed up, you get in the screen like this. So once you signed up, you would see the settings. You get an option to create a project. So click on create a project and you get in two types of projects. So there's two types of projects. One is NextGen and other one is Classic. So Classic is the one which is normally used, which is more preferred, but NextGen is still coming up, which is not completely free. So lots of features you get in Classic. It is more consistent. But in case if you want to have a few features which is coming up, for that you want to use a NextGen projects. So you have in all these features you see here, you don't have much features still coming up, but they're trying to make your work quite easy in your NextGen. The preferred is this. So I can have roadmaps with a beta version and reports, estimations, sprints, all this could be done. So if you want to choose this, I click on select. So it'll ask me for the project name. So I give some project name and some keys, and I can choose a template, what I want, and click on create. So it's going to create your project. The first one is you want to create projects like this. And once you create a project, I can go back to the projects again, and I can start working in. So again, if you want to go back to other projects, I can go to the projects here. So when I create a project, I create a Kanban, the normal ones would look like this. This is how you would have your projects. And once you have the projects, you can go in and create issues, all these things which you can do. So this is in brief about what is Jira and what is Jira Software. And we're going to look into it. So you can do all these things. The difference between each of them is the talk called about. You can use any of these. And we're going to look in this. Once you sign up, you look at something like this. You log in. Any questions in here? Are we clear how to log in to Jira Software? and create a project. Okay, question by Subbu is, so is creating a new Jira account is free or chargeable? You have free as well as paid. Yeah. And question by Aditya is, how do we integrate Jira to any app? Is an inbuilt one, or do we need to use a third-party app? So which tool are we talking about, Aditya? The third-party one? If you can let me know, it is normally you might want to use some plugins. As you saw, you need to use some plugins for that. Or what you can do is you can go into a marketplace. So you have Jira Marketplace, in which I can go and, or Atlas Marketplace, in which you can go and buy the software. So you want to look into specific into marketplace in which you can go and buy and integrate it. Yeah. So for example, you want to go here, search for Tableau. So you need to search for it. For example, this is the one I want. I click on it and install it, and then you follow the steps so that you can integrate it. It's all in a marketplace. The link. If you want to learn more, there's a link. Is any other questions? Did I answer a question, Aditya? All right, so now let's continue. So now I go back to the same link in which I was giving you the details. Let me click on the link which talks about. So this link which I gave you talks about how to start off hosting, and we are going in this you can see about how to create a project. So you want to refer this link which you're going to see about how to create a project. We did it. You can choose a template, which is template you want to use, and then you can choose whatever fields you want. All this you can do it. So once you have the project ready, you want to create an issue, which I'm going to show you, and you can invite your team, other things we can use. Now, before I go into this, you want to be thinking about what are the use cases of Jira. So Jira has lots of use cases. So one main use case is all for how you manage it for your requirements and test case. So how do you get the information from other teams, from your customers, and how do you share with others? You might want to use Jira. And using this, you can use a test case management. Second one is used for agile teams to manage their projects. So they can keep track of what is happening in the project. They can define where is it, what has been done, what is pending. They can use all this issue tracking. They can create workflows. They also can define how much time would take for each of the issues to be completed, see the progress of the project, and they can use Scrum board and Kanban, using which they can integrate the framework of Scrum, Kanban, and you can also define who can do what on the project level. You also have Jira administrator who can define complete on a high level. You have Jira as well as a project administrator. You can create features using project backlogs and email notifications. This is for developers, for example, agile teams. For project management, specific to projects, so they can learn about where are we in each of the issues, how much time it will take, how can I create reports and analyze how much have we completed. So those things could be done for the project management teams. Software development teams is all about how do they release the applications, how do they do a CI/CD and do the work to ensure that they release the applications. This is all about developers. Product teams can use it for defining the products, the roadmaps, what they want, what of them forecast. the use cases for task management. So these are some of the important things. The last one is for bug features. So bug is wherein if developers are trying to troubleshoot it and they want to understand and they want to give to others or to share it, they can use this. So lots of use cases when you work with Jira softwares. There are lots of terms which you're going to remember. So when you work with your Jira software, the terms you want to remember is Scrums, wherein you can manage like issues, or you can talk about sprints or epics and sprints. I can use Kanban dashboard, where you can just drag in the issues. Backlog is what exactly the team wants to add in the features. And epics is a collection of multiple big one, and I can split up into smaller ones, use the stories. I can do it. I can create it. All these are some terms you want to use it. And once you're good, you want to click on get started. So Jira is being used everywhere. Lots of companies, they use Jira. DevOps teams, they use it. Reporting, backlog, use cases. Now, these are the things you want to understand. Now, going back in here, let's go back. And I go to my Jira page. So this is how you log in. So once you're in your project, so you want to look into backlogs. And also when you have a specific Jira created, for example, I already have just a Jira, I'm just opening in here. How does it look in Jira? I'm talking about not the software. How does Jira look if I have a ready running? I don't have ready running. I'm talking about examples. How does it look in the real environment? The real environment, your Jira software would look something like this. In the real environment, there would be some backlogs which would have in all the features, what is happening, everything in the backlogs. Yeah, I can go and filter it and see what is happening, all those things in here. You would have in some boards. So there would be boards like Kanban or Scrum board and progress, block, integration. So I can drag and push it like this. All these things I can do. I need to do them talking about. You need to do some. I can do all these things properly in here. I can go to releases of it and say releases what is happening for my environment in your software. So Jenkins pipeline, when is it going to release? I can create reports and see the reports of in Jira software. So real environment looks something like this. You can create a report and you have a report. You can see the status of the reports. I can switch reports to, for example, I can go to all reports and I can choose any reports. So if you want to see what is the average age or the pie chart, it'll show you the reports in a easier manner. You just say that I want to define it. And you can see something like this, who is doing what. So this is a real scenario. I'm just giving an example because I cannot give everything. So this is how it looks in real scenarios. And you can create roadmaps for product teams. They use this to define how they can go ahead. And this is where you want to go. Once you create a project, you want to create issues in this. So issues is what I want. Might be I want to troubleshoot a bug or something, I can raise it. And once I raise an issue, I can assign to someone. I click on assign, raise it, intended. So this is about your service management. So you have different types, which we saw. Either you can use for softwares or this was for service management ones. And if you still want to split up your projects into smaller ones, or you want to segregate, you can also create components and make it quite easy. So this is in real scenarios, it would look like this. And if you want to start using this, you need to create your projects and do all of them once you start doing it. So for that, you first create a project, you go to issues, and say that I want to create an issues, and issues come like this. So I want to create issues, click on create here. So if I want to do anything, I'll say that what I want. Do I want to work on a bug, or do I want to write a story or an epic? And now, for example, developer wants to bug something, he'll say troubleshooting some Jenkins issue or something like this. They would say that, and they would choose the components. They define, nothing's there. So some steps you can mention. I want to resolve this issue and some blah blah. You can put in what issues is there, all this thing, and click on create. So once you click on create, it is going to come in, and when you click on it, it's going to create. You see the issues. So then you can start assigning to this, flag is all this thing, you can do it in here. And if you want to attach more information about these issues, you can also attach some reference documents, which will give you the screenshot of this. You can manage upload this. You can link these issues with other issues, which are very similar. Lots of options you get and put in comments, and you can start using this. Again, if you want to create a branch of it, you can create a branch and give it to others. All these things you can have. This one. Yes. So now, if it is something like this, now I want to still better manner how we manage it. I can also go to back to project, and I can go to reports. So you want to see what is happening in my environment. Once you get issues, I can create some reports like sprint report. And I'd say that I want to create one, so I can go to create a board and create a Scrum or a Kanban. Both are supported, so whichever you want. Create it. Existing, you can do it. Lots of options. Give a project name. So project one, we're using it. Create a board here. So here's some name. Create a board. So once you create a board, you can again start creating issue here. Also create a sprint, and you can create issues. All these things you can do it in here, and you can drag it. Once you create it, you can drag it. Other ones you can do it in here. So these are things you work in your enterprises. And if you still want only my issues, you can see it in here. And versions, I can create versions of it. So I can say that versions of, create it, and I can do all other options. Yes. So this is in brief about how you can work with your Jira software. Any questions? Are you able to understand what are these terms? Any questions? Any questions?
The benefit of audience, would you show the issue types? Like you have shown the bug and the task. Do you see any other issues like epics or features?
What are the other issues we can create?
Correct.
Yeah. So click on view all issues and filters. So these are things coming up in Jira Software. One is bug, second one is epic, and third one is story. So based on use case, I can filter in here. I can choose this. This is your story. And all standard issues types. Click on it. It's going to show you all of them. So these are things which are going to see in here. So we saw about the bug. You can also see an epic. Another ones you can see in here. Okay, you want to see all other issues types. So
no, once we can create, we will get the issue types. I think no,
yes,
we
yes.
have filtered, so it's not showing up the complete options.
No, no. Let me show. Let me show here. It is there. 1 second. So when I go into, let me go back to my main screen and click on the project. issues, creating issues. So these are the things which you're getting in here. Yeah, others, I'm not sure why it's not coming. Let me see for other projects. So these are things just coming here, and you can also import the issues. Anything else? So once you start working on the issues, you can keep track of the issues under My Open Issues or reported by me, all these open issues. And if you want to know more about the issues, for example, I click on the issues and I can see on the right side what is happening. I can click on this and I can see the information in here. All this I can do. Now, how do we manage these all these things? You might want to have in some search mechanisms. So searching, you can do a basic searching. So you can search it using some issued names. You can use it and search it. Or you can also sign it under the usernames who you want. You can search it. Search under the in progress to do all these basic search types you have. And you can also do a type and choose what you want. So these are different filter mechanisms which you can use for your searches for the issues. And you can also see which was recently updated, all this in under this. And you want to see more, click on it and you can see the information about it. This is how you can go back in here and do this. Now coming, and again I'm going to come back, and you can also do advanced search. Advanced search is called as JQL. So one is the basic one which we saw about, in which I can use any of these filter mechanisms, or I can use a text to search for it. For example, I want to search only for Jenkins base, so it's going to give me all about Jenkins. Filter this. But when you want to use something using some date or using some specific parameters which is not done by a basic, you might want to switch to JQL. So example, if I want to search something very specific to this, I need to put in a project name and text like this, and I can do it. Or what I can do is I can type in like issue type, so type in issues. And I could say that I want equals something. So you can say some options like this, you update this. So for this, we can choose example like issue type. So into a issue type, it's going to give you options like what I want, whether it's a bug or epic or story, all these types of issues. So if I'm looking for this specific bug, I can do this, I can search. Yes, so you have lots of things which I'm going to show to you now how you can work all these things. Let me go back here. Let me open. So what I've done is for benefits, I've created all these things separate once. So the first one which we started, which has the links for everything. One minute. So in this, it talks about how you can work with those. So this we understood. This we understood. Then we looked into how to work with your boards. This is done. How to create any issues. This is done. Then roadmaps used for Kanban. You can also go to settings, and I'm going to show you this now. So how do I manage these? So let me go back in here, go to settings in here, and I can go back to the main page, choose it, and I can manage the project settings. And I click on project settings. I can define who can access these. Other ones who want to give access to others, I can define in here in the project settings. I can define people who can access this. I can define some specific automation to be done from projects under this. So you get in lots of options for your project settings. So you can define some automation to be done for it to complete it, close it. So you can define all these workflows and you can complete it. So these are links. Let me show you for workflows. So each one I'm going to show in detail. So what is an issue? We are clear. It's all about issues. So we've seen it. How does the issue look? You create issues. It could be any of these issues. And once you create issues, you could want to create a workflows. Within your issues, you can have some workflows, either like a basic, start, progress, and done, or you could have your issues to be split up into waiting or escalated like this. You can have it. So these are the specific status of your issues. And when it goes to this and this, that is called a transition. So you could have the workflows created based on your request. Status is all about where the project stands right now, and transition is where it's getting transit. You can have active workflows, inactive workflows, lots of workflows you can do it. For that, you want to go to issues and create a workflow, and you can define it. You also have designer for workflow using which you can work on it. So how do I go back? So if I have any issues, I go back to my projects. I click on issues, and under issues, I can click on create. Yeah, you go ahead and create a workflow inside this. So this is in brief about, I'm not giving options in here, screens change. So you can work with all these things. And the last one, which I want to talk about, is about your querying. So the links for your querying. So how do you use your query? You can use options wherein I can search for the project, equals or issue types. You can use multiple and operations, and other ones. If you want to search what is happening issues, you want to use a JQLs. So JQL is all about how we can do an advanced search. So if developers wants to know what was updated, to whom it was assigned, and what the status, you want to use your JQLs examples. And if you want to see some specific updates about different environments, what is happening, what type of issues, you want to filter it out, you want to use JQLs. And how do you start doing it? The syntax. Syntax is this, and I can start doing automations. Still, advanced options. You want to know more? These link provided is all in the search one. So in case you're looking for advanced searches, you want to use this link, which talks about how you can use, for example, I want to search using only test, I can do this. If you want to filter the projects based on specific current users, I can do this. I can use using some AND operators or specific dates. If I want to use this, I want to use JQL. You also have in some specific characters which can use it. These are the reserved words. All this, you can use this in your queries. And the different options, what are required? You need to have a field. Field is what you're searching it for. Operators is what words you use, like equals, and you can use it. You can also use some keywords like text or some specific commands you can use, and you can use the functions, and you can also save your searches once you do it. You can anytime switch between the basic and advanced search in your JQL. All these are some examples what you want. Want to learn more about it? Want to just click on it and you can search. Yes, team, this is in brief about what I want to talk. If you still want to understand more, there are some blocks. This is the last one, and then looking at best practices. So once you have in your Jira, you can also use this talks about your search mechanisms, how to search it. Simple search you can use. So you can have search like this, or if you want to use advanced search, these are fields. Field, operator, value, and keyword. I have to put in all this information. And using this, I can get it. So examples, I want to have a project of collaboration and I want a status of in progress. So you need to do like this. Or if you want to see where is it, what is specific, I can use this. I can use some operators. So different methods you have to filter what is happening or know what is happening in your issues using your JQL. Yeah. Now any questions on these topics? Any questions on these topics? Okay, what exact details you want, Subbu? I've given all the links in the chat in your last slide. Anything else you want to know? So if you want to know more, you have to click on this link and you can more. The last one is how do you use your Jira, the best practices? So you have lots of best practices once you start using this. And this link gives you details about how do you want to use that. So everyone, you want to follow the proper guidelines. For example, if they're done in the project, you want them to put in a done. And if they are doing it in status, you want to update the proper status, the first one. Second one, it talks about how you can use epics and stories. So you want to always split up a bigger ones into smaller ones. So epics is the bigger ones and smaller ones are user stories so that you can keep track of what is happening in your projects. And this document talks about how we can achieve the same. You want to use user roles and restrictions. You do not want everyone to get the complete permissions. So based on the roles and the very specific privilege you are supposed to give for those users. And these talks about how you want to create users, what permissions you want to give for them, and how and what they can do. Either on the project levels you can define it, or on the top level, it is again managed by your Jira administrator. Jira administrator can define what they can do. You want to look into the reports and get the information about what is happening. You want to have proper reporting best practices as given the documents. And if you want to get information more about it, you might want to look into these guides which talks about the best practices. So this is all from my end. Any questions?
Yes, thank you, Chaitanya, for the session. Participants, this is B platform. So participants will be on listen only mode. But if anyone wants to ask a question to Chaitanya, you please ping in the chat so that we will enable the host option where you can ask the queries.
Okay, thanks, Rajkumar.
Will you allow me a minute to share the Atlassian training catalog link to the participants?
Sure. I'll make you a host.
No, I have the host access.
Okay, please.
Yeah, thank you. Hi team, I just ping you the training catalog of Atlassian, where there are free trainings and some certifications that are being offered. They are industry standards which will be helpful for your career in any of the organizations that you get into. Currently, Atlassian is named the number one platform in terms of project management as well as getting into the different integrations to analytics and third party tools. So you can access that link and you can attend the free sessions. You can take online classes. I mean, you can train at your own pace. If you wish to do any certifications, there are some discounted fees that's been going on at the moment. However, having said, I would request to participate in the events, Atlassian events across the globe to get hands-on with the demo as well as some free links, free startup links. If you wish to learn more about the Jira or DevOps or Jenkins or anything related to Atlassian products or even with the DevOps, Chaitanya is running his own consultancy where you can reach out to him offline and he will be able to help you with that. Chaitanya?
Subramanyam, anything else
Yeah.
to close the
Yeah,
session?
you may share your website link for the participant if they want or if they want to collaborate with you. So that, yeah.
Okay, so this is my website in which you can post it. You can click on get in touch and you could post your question. It'll come back to my email ID and I can come back to you. You could also check my website in which I update the latest updates on DevOps, cloud, as well as on agile practices. There's a link which I'm pasting in the chat. And you can also reach me on LinkedIn. You can reach me on LinkedIn for any questions. You can reach my LinkedIn. Also, this is my LinkedIn profile. You can reach out for any questions on further collaboration. Yes, anything